You might know this guy, Charles Darwin, the creator of the theory of evolution by natural selection. But you may not know his clean-shaven counterpart Jean-Baptiste Lamarck and his use and disuse theory of evolution, which goes as follows. If a short-necked giraffe really wants those higher leaves, he'll stretch his neck and pass on that slightly longer neck. Of course, today we find Lamarck a little bit absurd, but only because we know about something he didn't: genes. But a while after Lamarck and Darwin introduced their own theories of evolution, a scientist by the name of James Mark Baldwin introduced another idea that might help explain the existence of music, language, and one that looks suspiciously like Lamarckism. His idea was called the Baldwin Effect. The Baldwin Effect explains how a learned behavior might become an instinct. Let's start from the very beginning: phenotypes and genotypes. Your genotype is simply your genetic code. Your phenotype is everything else observable about you, and importantly for Baldwin, your behavior. Lamarck went wrong in assuming a change in physical traits can be passed on, that your phenotype can affect your genotype. Your genotype doesn't adapt over your lifetime, but your phenotype can. Phenotypic plasticity refers to any adapted change in traits that you gain over your lifetime. This could be a bodybuilder's muscle, or more commonly, learning. You can learn amazing new behaviors, including some that will increase your chance of survival and reproduction, including spitting water at bugs. Well, archerfish can shoot bugs right out of the sky, like a marine Annie Oakley, and Darwinian natural selection would suggest that this behavior was the result of a random mutation. But it would be hard for a single random mutation to cause such a sophisticated technique. More likely, a singular fish happened to invent the method, and other fish learned by example. The Baldwin effect hinges on something that we don't often think much about: how costly learning really is. Not in dollars, but in time and energy. Every calorie matters. So if a fish can save some time learning a valuable behavior, that fish's genes would be selected for. Now imagine that fish's brain as a dashboard of settings. If we start to tweak these knobs a little, any one archerfish might end up having a setup that accelerates them further along the target spitting road than your average fish. Over time, natural selection can select for arrangements of knob settings that correspond to save learning time. And thousands of years later, you might end up with settings so optimized for target spitting that they barely require any learning at all. The learning process has become so fast as to be, in effect, an instinct. Lamarck might look at this kind of outcome and claim he was right. But Darwin can rest easy, knowing that the Baldwin effect relies entirely on natural selection, and has proven to be a powerful mechanism in the creation of complex instincts, from the sharp-shooting mouths of the archerfish to the grammatical and musical brains of human beings.